Hey, what's up, everyone? If you are new to the channel, my name is Tim. I am the host of the Glass House News podcast and radio show. If you're returning to the channel, things look a little different today. As I said yesterday, I am visiting family for Thanksgiving. Oh no, I am ignoring all of the governor's orders and the Thanksgiving lockdowns. Whatever, sue me. You can't tell me what to do. I've already had the coronavirus. I can't get it again for a while. I can't give it to anyone for a while. So here I am enjoying my Thanksgiving with my family. All right, so as I said, things look a little bit different today. I'm not going to be able to share my screen with you. I'm recording on my phone. I'm on the road. So just kind of have to make do with what we have. But before we get to the news, if you would please go hit that subscribe button on my homepage. I don't have a marketing team. We're a big fancy studio. Just a dude trying to share the information that I think is important in easy to understand ways. So what are you waiting for? It only takes 2 seconds to minimize this video. Go to my homepage, subscribe to the channel, and then share this video with your friends. If you want to be part of helping my channel grow, if you want to be part of helping me combat the fake news narratives floating around the social media sphere, go share this video with your friends. And if everyone who watched this video shared it one time, I would be the biggest YouTube channel by the end of the year. All right, on to the news. We're going to start today with this piece from the Washington Examiner. And again, I can't share my screen with you. I'm sorry. I'm going to do the best I can to fix that over the next couple of days. We'll have a video tomorrow, but we will on Friday. And then again on Monday, off for the weekends. So we start off with this piece from the Washington Examiner entitled, "Trump would have won 311 electoral college votes if media weren't biased," survey says. Ooh, this is some spicy territory we're getting into. Okay, so it's covering this MRC poll. Okay, so the liberal media's efforts to hide the Joe Biden-related scandals from voters and bury good news about the Trump administration cost the president the election, according to 2 new voting surveys. Had voters known about the troubling issues swirling around the Democrats and some of the success of the Trump White House, including the Middle East peace deals, job growth, and energy independence, enough people would have turned away from Biden to give Trump 311 electoral votes, more than enough to win, said the polls shared with Secrets. Ripping the media, Brent Bozell, founder of the Media Research Center, MRC, said, had they done their jobs, Donald Trump won the election. Bozell added, "This is not happenstance. This is not coincidence." So then they provide this graphic. It says post-election survey of 1,750 voters, Biden voters, in 7 swing states. So 1,750 in each state. Okay. So it gives 3 bad news about Biden and 4 good news about Trump. So Biden sex assault allegations, 35% of Biden voters were unaware of the sexual allegations against Joe Biden. And had they heard of it, or had they heard of them, almost 9% of his voters would have shifted away from Biden. That doesn't mean directly towards Trump, but 9% of voters would not have voted for him. Okay, then the Hunter Biden scandal. Okay, so this is what we get into media censorship from the big, massive media corporations like YouTube, Twitter, they're getting there, Facebook, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and all these other big news corporations. Okay. 45% of Biden voters have never heard of the Hunter Biden email scandal. And had they heard of it, 9.5% of Biden voters would not have voted for Biden. Then, Kamala Harris as the most leftist U.S. senator. 25% of Biden voters did not know that she was the most radical senator in the U.S. Senate. And 4% of voters would not have voted for Biden had they known this. Media censorship is a real thing, and it's affecting how people vote. It's affecting the outcomes of our elections, and it's time for the media to do their jobs again. Forget about Make America Great Again. For just a moment, make media honest again, because they're not telling you the truth. They don't care about us, normal Americans. They don't care about the voters of this country. They don't care about the little guys. They care about their friends in high places. And we see this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good things about Donald Trump that the media censored. 33% economic growth in the third quarter of this year, of 2020. 49% of Biden voters did not know that, which would have shifted 5.5% away from Biden. They didn't know that Donald Trump had created 11 million jobs, which would have shifted 39% didn't know about that, which would have shifted 5.5% away from Biden. 43.5% of voters did not know that Trump had orchestrated 3 major peace deals. The first ones in decades. They didn't know that he had orchestrated these peace deals in the Middle East between warring countries. That's big. That's a big deal. The fact that Trump was able to bring peace to the Middle East without forcing Israel to give concession to the Palestinian state or the Palestinian Authority and other terrorist organizations. 43% of Americans, or 43% of American voters, didn't know about this. And that would have shifted 5% of the vote away from Biden. And then U.S. energy independence. 50% of voters across these swing states didn't know that we were now energy independent, which would have been enough to shift almost 6% away from Biden, 5.8. And then finally, Operation Warp Speed. 36% of these voters, these Biden voters, had no idea that Operation Warp Speed even existed. They didn't know what it was. It's Donald Trump's plan to get a vaccine out as quickly as possible to the population of the United States. And this would have shifted just over 5% of voters away from Biden. Again, not to Trump, just away from Biden. A good chunk of those would have gone to Trump. Likely would have shifted the outcome of the election by close to 10 million votes. All in all, at least the total percentage of people unaware of at least one of these things, the Biden sexual assault scandals, allegations, the Hunter Biden email scandal, Harris as the most leftist senator, 33% economic growth, 11 million jobs, Middle East peace deals, U.S. energy independence, and Operation Warp Speed. The total number of people unaware of at least one of these things was 82%. Enough to shift 17% of Biden's voters away from Biden and into the camp of other people like Joe Jorgensen and Donald Trump. This would have given Trump the election. What's more, the media had a partner in Twitter, which Bozell has said censored Trump, his campaign, or family members 262 times during the end of the campaign. Biden's team was not censored once. In one survey found for MRC by McLaughlin and Associates, enough of Biden voters would have switched their selection had they known about his son Hunter's money scandal to give Trump a victory. In that poll, 4.6% of Biden's voters said they would have selected him they would not have selected him if they had been aware of his son's China money affair. In the second, done by the polling company for MRC, 17% of voters would have shifted away from Biden had they known about Biden's scandals and Trump's achievements. In Pennsylvania, 15% of voters would have shifted away from Biden and to Trump. In Michigan, 14%. Georgia, 15%. Arizona, 21%. Wisconsin, 13%. And Nevada, 18%. That would have been enough votes to shift the election for Trump in every single state. This would have given Trump a margin. Pennsylvania, 435,000 votes. Michigan, 237,000 votes. Georgia, 356,000 votes. Arizona, 340,000 votes. Wisconsin, 191,000 votes. Nevada, 71,000 votes. Trump would have won this election in a landslide if the media were honest and did their jobs. But no, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. What they care about is power. We don't have in America any state-run media, like the British have the British Broadcasting Channel. That is a state-run media. Canada has their own state-run media. Most socialist and communist countries have their own state-run media. America has a media-run state. And this shows it. If the media, by simply suppressing 8 stories, can shift the outcome of the presidential election, we obviously have a state-run media. A media-run state. So should it be any surprise that the person they put into power won the election? The person they wanted to win the election has won the election. They suppressed 8 stories. 3 were negative to Biden, 5 were positive to Trump. And where are we now? Facing a Joe Biden presidency, a return of the quote-unquote normalcy of the Barack Obama presidency. There's only one problem with that. The Obama presidency was not normal. We saw the destruction of American politics under Barack Obama. I know it's kind of unpopular thing to say, but Donald Trump did not destroy American politics. The left is responsible for that. Starting in 2006, when the left decided to go after George W. Bush as a racist, as a homophobe, as uneducated, which, by the way, they call those things Donald Trump as well. They call Donald Trump those things. And they call every single person that voted for him those things. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, Michelle Obama tweeted out, 70 million voters, Americans, voted to keep the status quo of hatred and bigotry. There you go. She said the quiet part out loud. The left thinks of every single Donald Trump voter. You, me, Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson. Anyone that supports Trump in any capacity is a bigot and needs to be taken down. I think Ben Shapiro says it best. They don't hate you because they hate Trump. They hate Trump because they hate you. And you are simply in their way. Proof positive of this is that everyone in the media loved Donald Trump until he ran for president on the Republican ticket. And everyone in the media is going to love Donald Trump once again when the next Republican comes around into power. Someone like Dan Crenshaw, maybe. Nikki Haley. Then all of a sudden, there are standards of you can't fight or you can't attack a woman. You can't attack a service member. Both of things they've told Donald Trump. Those standards won't matter anymore. Because more important than the facts is the narrative. More important than their own standards is what they want. Their desired outcomes matter above all else. They don't hate you because they hate Trump. They don't hate you because you voted for Trump. They just hate you. And Donald Trump's in the way. They hate me because I have the gall to do stuff like this, to make this YouTube channel, and to present to you the facts on the ground without any sort of bias or opinion. Now, obviously I have my biases. I have opinions on things. But I'm presenting to you the facts. I don't present to you my opinion first. I present to you facts first. And then what I think the outcome of that is. You get to decide what's best for you. You get to decide what you think. I'm not going to decide that for you. I'm not CNN. I'm not MSNBC, Fox, or any other major news corporation. Speaking of major news corporations and the media that hates us, most major news sources are not going to broadcast stories like this. Pennsylvania judge halts election certification amid mail-in vote fight. You're not going to see that on CNN because it might presume Donald Trump has a path to victory. Lawsuit alleges that Pennsylvania's mail-in voting law violated the state's constitution. A Pennsylvania state court issued an injunction on Wednesday blocking any potential further certification of election results in the state, pending a hearing to be held Friday. The order from Judge Patricia McCullough comes in the case brought by Pennsylvania voters, including Representative Mike Kelly, Republican, Pennsylvania, in which they alleged that a state allowing for no excuse absentee voting violated the Pennsylvania Constitution, which outlines specific cases where absentee voting is allowed. So there you go. These are the rules you have to follow for absentee voting. You can't simply allow absentee voting across the state or across the nation. You got to follow the rules. And if those rules aren't followed, well, all of the votes that were cast by not following the rules can now be cast aside. The question is, how do you tell which ones were cast by not following the rules? To the extent that there remains any further action to perfect the certification of the results of the 2020 general election for the office of President and Vice President of the United States of America, respondents are preliminarily enjoined from doing so pending an evidentiary hearing, McCullough wrote. Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro quickly responded on Twitter, pointing out that this does not have much impact since the results of the presidential election have already been certified and electors chosen. Shapiro added that his office will still appeal the decision. As for any other races in November's elections that may not have been certified, state officials are barred from certifying the results of any election that has not already been certified. So Shapiro is right in one sense. The election has already been certified. The votes have already been certified. That doesn't mean that we can't reverse course. This is the big deal. Okay? The election's not over until December 14th, when all of the delegates and electors from each state go to D.C. and vote. Until then, all of these states can still be overturned. All of the lawsuits that the Trump campaign and Republicans across the nation are still filing can still go through. That's all I've got for you today. Please have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Try not to burn down the country while I'm gone. And even if you do, I'll be here to cover it tomorrow.